I have the olive trees. There's certainly some growth along it, so this olive tree is definitely alive. Here's a banana plant. Basically, the stuff that is damaged, like these leaves, I'm going to cut off and put them in here because it's very healthy for the bananas to feed on this. I've already picked a lot of potatoes, and I have a lot of potatoes still to pick. Basically, you should wait until a couple of weeks after they turn yellow until you pick the potatoes. I've got red, whites, and blues. Some of them have already been picked. Others are still going. The Yukon Golds generally were the first to be finished, then the Gold Rushes. There is a Yukon Gold still standing. I do have the Adirondack Blues and the Norland Reds that are still coming and going strong. This one is Concord Grape. I had planted earlier within the month. I don't really see much action on here, but it should come alive. Here's the Adirondack Blues. They're coming along fine. Got a little left here on the Gold Rush, and more Gold Rush, and more Gold Rush. Here I had planted a pear. The Kiefer pear was planted on May 3rd. There was an incredible sale at Sprouts where I got some great plants, strawberries, which I don't know, those bare root strawberries may not have made it, and the pear, but the price was incredible. Now, I've got a lot of wandering Jews over here. They're doing fine. I've transplanted the first of my many Black Beauty eggplants here. I transplanted it this morning. That was originally seeded on 429. I've got chives and carrots coming up, and I did peek at one of the carrots here, and I think it's a Nutri-Red. It's a pretty red carrot, so I think that's a Nutri-Red. Although it might be a purple carrot. Planted different colors here. I planted purple and Nutri-Red and yellow, as well as I have my chives. A lot of what I thought was lemongrass ends up as spiderwort. So that's a little frustrating, but spiderwort definitely attracts some bees. There were some wasps or bees that were very upset when I was putting them away at the end of last season. Got more chives here, more spiderwort. The sage, I've been bringing it back to health. I'm fighting a little bit with some fungus here. That's gonna have to be replanted soon too. I have 3 kinds of mint. This is the peppermint, and then I have the chocolate mint as well as the spearmint. Here's some more wandering Jews, and here's the chocolate mint, and that's coming along great. That was a little slow come out of winter, but it's doing good. The insulin plants are doing great. I'm still behind on transplanting the pineapples, as well as I see I need to do some weeding here with the aloes. They have recovered nicely. They were quite discolored from the sun. They like heat, but they don't like sun. I'm gonna have to do more here in terms of weeding. The plum tree is coming along. When I bought it, it had 1 flower. I haven't seen any since, and it hasn't been the epitome of health, but it's only the first year. And here's the blueberries. A lot have been forming. Raspberries, a lot of them were affected by a fungus, but I've been getting rid of a bit of that. We have some lilacs. Some of them had bloomed already. Here is more lilacs and more raspberries. Got to do a little bit of weeding in here. I had some bok choy that had gone to seed. Now after going to seed, I'm getting some new things coming up too. Here is my wonderful tower that I have from Geenstalk. Been picking quite a few strawberries every day. When I got things at Sprouts, I had gotten some quinault bare root strawberry plants, and I don't think any of them have taken. As a matter of fact, today I took a runner from one of my other strawberries and I actually planted it into one of the places where I'd put a quinault. So here what I did is I put it down. It was quite a long runner. I used a garden metal thing that's kind of like an open staple to push it down. You want the crown out, but it will throw down roots into the soil that it's touching. I recently had harvested my beets. I've been getting green beans. I've harvested some of those. Those are the Bush Blue Lake beans. They're strawberries at various points towards maturity. This one looks about ready, but there's still some white on it. I'm going through and getting off the stuff that's a little not as healthy so that the green remains. I transfer aroma 2 bean into one pocket. I've also transferred a bunch of ground cherry plants, which is not cherries. It's kind of related to the tomatillo. Here's one. Now this will get long, and I'll have the ring, the support ring around the green stalk and weave it in and out of that. I've planted borage before, but I have never had borage with such big leaves. So I've actually taken some of them off because they were actually covering the beans, so they weren't getting as much light as they should. I just planted another borage that was ready for transplanting into a bed. This green stalk situation really took the best out of this borage plant because those kind of leaves I've never seen before. When I bought that other grape, the Concord before that I showed you, same day I had bought also a bare root, the Catawba grape, and that has just been leafing out. So that is a very good sign. A neighbor came over and noticed something I hadn't. The Catawba grapes that I just planted from bare root on May 1st, so less than a month ago, actually are going to be bearing fruit this first year. She noticed I'm actually getting grapes. It was a little hidden from my view, but now that she mentions it, it's in plain sight. Normally, my experience with grapes is you get fruit around the 3rd year, but this Catawba is doing incredible. Concord I bought at the same time, still looks bare, hasn't produced any leaves at all. Here, I have a number of purple sweet potatoes that I have started and are ready for transplanting. I also have here some beta alpha cucumbers, some more ground cherries, black beauty eggplants are coming along, more sweet potatoes. I had previously clipped off some elderberry and have been rooting the elderberries in water for a couple of months, and now the elderberries are getting ready for putting in soil as well. I have here more sweet potatoes, some sunflowers, got some basils that are getting ready to be transplanted. The other day I had someone eat off the top of a marigold. Here's a couple of dills that are getting ready. Now this is rosemary, and here I've got a couple of watermelons that I still haven't transplanted. I've already gotten 2 transplanted though. Here's some of my celery. We have the honeydews, and I also have a honeydew that I transplanted yesterday into a raised bed. We've got some thyme, some slips that are forming on potatoes. Here's some spinach. The other day a neighbor had given me a plant that is a canna lily. Now, all the other potato slips that were coming up were purple. This one is going to be the orange or yellow sweet potatoes. I just planted that yesterday. It's going to take about a week or so till I start seeing them come up. My blackberries have been forming. The one that's most mature right there. There's lots of blackberries that are forming, and that should be sweet and delicious when they're ready. Here, I've been planting a number of corn plants, and I've been succession planting them. A lot of times in the past, I had problems with corn where the tassels would be at one point in development and the silks would be at another, and it wasn't necessarily the same time that the silks were available to be pollinated by the tassels. So by doing a lot about a week apart, I have a better chance of more pollination. I have a couple of kinds of cucumbers that I had transplanted here, as well as the honeydew melon. Today I put a borage right there. This kohlrabi has got to be picked. Here's some more potatoes and thyme. I had said last month that my Brussels sprouts were forming, and they are growing. Never had such success before with Brussels sprouts. fruits. So I'm really happy about that. My neighbor also had given me a bay leaf tree, a bay laurel, and I'm really excited about that. Her daughter sent her a few of them and she already had some, so she gave me one. Here I've got oriental yard long bean coming, potatoes that should be done soon, and my snapdragons that I love. I have Birdie's beds, and this one I had trouble with in the past. The other ones I have the 30-inch high, but this one is the 15-inch high. There's a rabbit that really likes some things in here. I did have to put the fence up again. I've got some sunflowers, some cucumbers. I've got a bit of tarragon, asparagus. Here are my Roma tomatoes. You can see tomatoes have been forming. Here's some basil. Here's some garlic. A lot more to be planted. Here I have one of the favorite flowers of all. This is going to be maypop fruit. The passion flowers are absolutely beautiful. They're a cousin of passion fruit. Will crop up even in the lawn, and I want to train this back towards the fence. Some of the ones that were cropping up in the lawn, I've been running underground back towards the fence as well. Here I have coming up a lilac that has never done as well as it has this year. This lilac is as old as the others, but it was smaller than the others, and it's doing much better this year. Over on this side, I have some more potatoes growing. Oh my gosh, that is a first this year. None of my other potatoes have flowered. This potato, which is Yukon Gold, is actually flowering. The others died long before this time. That is interesting. Now these will form berries. They're not the seeds for the potatoes, but sometimes people will consume the berries. The lilac over here, and on this back fence, I've been trying to start to train the maypop as well. So I've got this going and have been attaching it as it grows into the fence so that hopefully it can take over this fence as well. I put my snake plants back here because this is a little shadier and they do appreciate that. There's a lot of plants you think want full sun, but they really don't. That hot afternoon sun in the south can be too much for it. Here I've got some of my watermelons that I've already transplanted. More wandering Jews and bananas. Got a little rosemary. These are my lemons. With the ponderosa lemon, there's one that is growing, and there it is. Much smaller last month, and it is growing. That will become humongous. I have more of the pineapples. This is the start of this year's Malabar spinach, and I've got a bunch of tarragon here. This is the dragon fruit. Now, I thought I had transplanted it enough earlier in the season, but it needed some more support. When I went to do the support, it really needed another bigger pot. With the dragon fruit, I've seen a lot of different construction methods. There's one that's very common where there's a thick thing in the middle and then it comes up and you've got a square of wood or plastic or whatever, an upper layer so that it could go up and down. I've read about different ideas. I saw someone using a stick that had some different sections that teed off. Then I saw where people were even using some tomato cages. So I did a combination. When I bought this a couple of years back, it was just like a little itty bitty thing. And it's really been growing. I haven't gotten any dragon fruit yet. I could be transplanting more and starting new plants, but instead I'm letting this grow up. Over here, I wonder if I'm going to be getting any fruit over here. I don't know. If not, maybe another dragon fruit plant. Basically, this is going to go up and then it can go down and over for the dragon fruits. I had a lot of it flopping, so it needed more support, and then it ends up it even needed a bigger pot. This size pot should be fine and keep it for years.